say the biggest question is who wins the Champions League? Is it going to be PSG for the first time? And now Inter Milan for the fourth time? Now see, Champions League, imagine if PSG wins it. Kovi, say ye inki udi that moment. Aye ye trophy na. Ye di ade na twere udi egu kru one for the first time. I remember the Chelsea own. Say what's what beka omo enei ye do omo din ato kru one ho no. It is something words cannot describe. Now, so we share a kappa coffee PSG about in billions of euros, billions, since the takeover from Qatar by Sheikh Nasser Al Khelafi, backed by the Emir of Qatar from 2012. Kofi Edibesi this date, the kind of players from Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, Ramos, I mean Zlatan, all these players, coaches, and you are more in order to win just one thing and one thing only, this trophy, the UEFA Champions League. So it all comes down to this. Now imagine if this crop of generation be able to win PSG the Champions League for the first time, the thing they desire the most, they will never be forgotten. Yes. They will be forever be remembered. In fact, they will be in as legends for this club. No matter the player be individually, another this crop of generation will forever be remembered in the history books of Paris Saint-Germain. Now, already PSG has 3 trophies this season. Now they are chasing for quadruple, and then PSG are hoping say European treble nankasa treble proper no on betimi age. And it tells you one thing, say Omania break for what they desire the most. On the other hand, Inter Milan, because they've lost the 2 trophies this season, even 3, Supercoppa d'Italia, Coppa Italia itself, and then Italian Serie A. And to Amonsorin himself this season, Simeone Inzaghi cannot watch his incredible squad, say Omobeko trophyless. Because you see, these 2 teams has lost their previous Champions League finals. PSG in 2020.
Yes.
Inter Milan in 2023 against Man City. And the occasion is it is an all to play for final our alliance. Now, you see, Luis Enrique, so Simeone Inzaghi, because this coach, who the Pep Guardiola won the treble with Barcelona, he's repeated that with Man City. PSG. Coach Luis Enrique has won treble with Barcelona in 2015, the last one that Barcelona did. And then Wajid the 2 major trophies domestically, the French Cup and the French League A. And then he's hoping to repeat that same record. So the Champions League now he's won treble again for the second time. This time round with PSG, a team that have not won it before. Interestingly, Man City. Because Champions League the first time that they won treble because they won every domestic. PSG Omunji bida and then I'll talk about the omen. But before the omen, there are a whole lot of trivialities going into this game. See, 2 teams in the Aqua drew, of course. Germany there, Emunche, Emma, France, and Italy. And the 2 teams there arriving in style. So PSG for a year or monwa because we di board na F-Qua. Inter Milan the same thing. And then in a night like this, you expect to train before the game. Because sometimes football, you have to be in the shoes of the players to understand the way they feel, the way they I mean, training before the match. You know about trim BS china hand ye board and there these kind of things about players the trim. What I say, PSG4 training and the way and your macomo when you access Nibiano. Now, Inter Milan, similarly, on way training. I remember, who's the American YouTube streamer, I show speed, or France, or no training na say. I remember when Oka said Okache the Mele said onim so only no race who's on Nimrike to pa the Mele say pesi. Now Osha Akimi Oka the same thing. And then Akimi say so you ready also on now Akimi say no my Champions League final no. And I said after the champ no say I will give my 100%. So I'll be exhausted after the Champions League final. Do you know what it means? A 100 meter speed keke no mo beko. But Akimi say nah because I was so stay one focus. Two, say who take unnecessary risk. Me say ne sadie si table so cry Jesus or yiri ko yibro because a pound now nemu stretch pe where do we timo. What I say? And the obia person or stay careful to be at its optimum before this final. And of course there is one thing that is assured, guaranteed, good football, quality display, intense final. Now game we yankasa no Kofi, it is not going to be different from the Barcelona Inter Milan game because of the style of the two teams. Why? Inter Milan Paris Saint-Germain, they're very flamboyant, they open up, they create enough chances, they control the game the most, they create enough and numerous chances and they score good goals. That is the way they play. Similar to what Barcelona showed against Inter. Now, that is similar to what Inter showed to Barcelona. Said, yeah, so we have our own way of playing. We will concede possession to you. Now, we stay deep when necessary and hit you on the counter attack. Again, turnovers. So, opponent the boy echo. Na tiakem no mwaje. Sata with the attacking shape to defensive structure na say no mo dey ball na see wetin akwa wo. I'm expecting doing that. Again, directness of play. Say Inter for na pe wa hye omo ball no direct to goal post. No mo dey akoto atenem. And these two football tactics na so Kofi amafo bebre hu say bia e power to other. Enhia and the bia no ntimi nka say we na ball fe ento betimi ayi the onobo defensive game no. Yeah. Most times when na defensive teams no mo ho odene. So certain mienu ni share the upper bars and the attack no the upper bars na no ho tired ne obe defend say I can't go no you and Inter for no ade ba come effective and they say they don't create more chances but any little chance of creating no they score. Again this season Inter for no cut down by 10 minutes to 15 no more equalizer throughout the entire season. So we are talking of a very strong team that has lost I think one match. And we are talking of Inter, so we are very strong. No battle, it's in so many facets. Mark the general style first. Key battle be because our attack. Because PSG have flamboyant no. Kofi, the threat is similar to the Barcelona game. Because looking at Barcelona the way they played omo game against Inter, no, attacking line no. Inter with similar threat because on our left hand side, baby Barcelona na Rafinha da no. Kivicha Kvaratskhelia is operating from there, and you expect every threat. Rafinha de be man say Kivicha so betima about the same thing. The Georgia Maradona no, because in terms of pace, movement, dribbles, good goals, scoring outside the box, creating good chances, open chances, take-ons, automatic fullbacks, automatic defenders. He was playing with Napoli just this season, half season, yeah. And in terms of why neighbor face, in this regard, Abrante and the dear don't freeze. Only no. In the very interesting tussle. Now, on the other side, me I prefer the Zaire Doué. Yes, but who equip line up now or more Bakola. But I think the Zaire Doué has fit in so well that he needs to start. Bakola should come from the bench. Now, so the Zaire Doué operating from that angle, the right side. Let me yama channel Honibia. Meaning he's going to face DiMarco. Yes, I'm up for a brace. Oh, almost baby, I'm challenge you want at the same position for PSG. Obi a yen place ekobo for Inter. Almost no Bastoni, DiMarco, any Agosto no. And I'm for contemplate and why them more. But obviously, it's going to be DiMarco. And it tells you that it's going to be another interesting battle. Now, PSG Benya, Inter, Ebo Trebak, Inyom Bisek, Francesco Acerbi, and then Bastoni. Now you name the way I'm operating on the wider. Say Kvaratskhelia the ball neba. A very similar to the way I be sick all the time. Everyone don't freeze because don't freeze quite attack. But don't freeze the attack and then when you're mindful, the moment you isolate one be sick and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia problem is see. Because that time no, now Barella won't feel who is expected to help you no, and also equal attack. And the all the time no, Kvaratskhelia may find himself isolated 1v1 with Jan Bisek. Bisek and also Kofi on Shadanya intelligent in terms of avoiding penalty. Kvaratskhelia and also or yes smart in terms of creating penalty. And the man there's a penalty bema PSG because of that risky. Now Dembele at this moment, even though a false 9, he is the most dangerous attacker. Oh yeah, center back ube slow to face. Do you know why? On the 9 and left here, you right here, mama made the only coach in Ekasano. You get it? Yeah. Coach in him. And the game like 2 attackers and so the way Dembele has influenced the season for PSG. On when him say Ballon d'Or conversation, Ballon d'Or race, you know, and then on one kasa chefa so you. And the coach in him say the main asset. Our attack, you know, Dembele is going to be pivotal. The entire maker say, "Oh, you defender." Dembele is the most dangerous at this point to face. Unim the entire. When because Oye winger, no pace, no team dribble into team bibia again. Or shoot from the left, or shoot from the right. Into a new weaker foot. Born a toha, or better place ya kwahasho. We a goalkeeper won't even decide. A toha, or better place ya free hasho. We a goalkeeper won't even decide. So Dembele and Casano, it is helping him a lot. And he knows how to create penalties as well. And the PSG attack and there, I say Inter, I am very careful with it. Now, Inter Milan. Kofi, I'm also about with the most dangerous duo of attack in Marcus Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. Now, the more who say these 2 players complement so well because one, Thuram. Ade ba ko ye ho ade pa and the link up play the be amekasa asem. You may hate him, you may not like you be Santa grow on any so, but link up play say me no obi enkeka mum create goal, me no obi mpiapia pass enka mum yinto no hono mo nhye. Marcus Thuram expert, quality and beautiful goals and also expert. Always or some more attacking presence on so jibo na wodi hia Marcus Thuram sa not here or bananim. Now or complementing Lautaro Martinez so well to the level say Kofi so obi enu ginama all the time we say ba kwa Christian ba kwa she Lautaro Martinez this season for Inter Milan if you even so unim kura na o play against Barcelona ye chechire so man di pain ne be boy e share ne how influence game no should tell you how important he is to this setup. And for Lautaro Martinez the quality is there, the goals is there, obe how as a defender. These 2 players, William Pacho, Marquinhos will experience. William Pacho will area durability, presence, and a defensive shot because of Oye Yongoro. But Kofi, Lautaro Martinez, Marcus Thuram, Omobema wa Brankasa. And the threat from attack, you know, both sides. Again, fullback advantage in it there. Honestly, I think PSG better utilize or more match.
Okay.
Eddie are saying Inter. And here's my reason. Inter for no. So Amon risk said Dumfries. Yes, the woman said Dumfries is going to be very effective. We shouldn't forget because he creates his course. What I say. But so Okon attack Bebrebe. There's a huge space away for Abrante and Derek Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. At this moment, you leave him isolated. Whoa. And the Inter be more conservative. In as much as there are moments that these fullback wing backs will attack in Dumfries, but most of the time, so almost stay deep behind almost half line. Sana Dimarco so is a agent or ya exposed on him crowd bar. So you don't expect Dimarco. So a better attack baby. So allow PSG mum say in Nuno Mendes. Oh, Timmy Bassan recover here because of age advantage. In Hakimi, Timmy Ba attack, SR recover here because of age advantage. Again, Hakimi is very effective. And he scores, he creates. As I this season, baby, as a fullback, when you over 21 goals contribution in assist plus goals. And the attorney said, Nuno Mendes, Hakimi, no, effective on the flanks more than Dumfries and then Dimarco because Dumfries and Dimarco have more to do when it comes to the defense. Because of the threat of the three, Desiree Doué, Kvaratskhelia, and Dembele. And tactically, PSG for no lose to control the game. But Inter for those moments that they make second. This is a Champions League final. And the one goal crano. The last time Bayern the one goal you amono.
Yes.
The one goal crano. Now, baby me who say PSG advantage by occupy your momefio. Yes. Do you know why? Because PSG midfield at this moment are uncontrollable, unplayable. Why? Yes, Inter with a very interesting and experienced midfield trio of Mkhitaryan, Barella, and Çalhanoğlu. They've seen it all. In fact, Inter has had 8 players that have played the Champions League final. PSG 1 in Marquinhos. Inter experience near the Inter phone Komubi. But Fabian Ruiz, Omuk Okutabol, Vitinha, João Neves, and in the midfield again, Nipa so be di omuwa Kesepano Mkhitaryan. Because one fan who is defensively on Taki, the defensive ability no crowd. The man here me tiny say. Aside the be confused center back and man your opponent in chip. They are not there a human lami match cho.
Yes.
Or no never first one be attacking no be no na lami their form no abashe. And if you do that, angles na lami ama place ball na share. Kivicha nya on the left or be share. Dembele nya on the right or no so be washe. And the mean I'm midfield no be of midfield vulnerability no without the ball no. And PSG for look, I'm in a control ball. No?
Yeah.
And you expect say Inter for the midfield, no? They'll have to do more without the ball. Unfortunately, Barella, Çalhanoğlu, even Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan. Without the ball, that is not what we know them for. We know them for holding the ball, controlling. But unfortunately for them, they are playing against PSG that they will not allow you to get the ball. You do more defensively, and the Abbas are midfield advantage. You know, go the Paris Saint-Germain way. Abbas answer their chances creation from Vitinha, Abrante and the other Joao Neves, no? And the way they rotate in the game, Nankasa there, Kofi, tactically, it favors Paris Saint-Germain. Now, make an omenasem, Kofi, and net day I about Champions League, no? Baby, I about Champions League, no? 2 teams now are about Champions League, no? Omen in favor PSG. The only thing that I'm scared of is Interfona has played the undercard and the underdog so well. Every single team that has faced Inter, from Bayern Munich to Barcelona to Manfobobo teams, a Champions League, Obia Interfim.
Okay.
Yes, me my personal bias and a natural. Sa onipa ye fi say onya ye nyina ye ko wo 10 million mini 1 cedi na ye ko 10 cedi ho obi aba obeka say ye mfa 10 cedi ma de oni 1 cedi wo 10 million be jete enti natural bias enti do obi apese say PSG e win champion because omunji bi da you get it wo de wanya 3 enti manfo bebre wo PSG because of this reason and natural bias nyankopɔ de bo obi a
okay
what I say but Inter for no games na dodo na yi omu free Barcelona be wi omu e ho na be hu. Oh, but Bayern were experienced Inter there. And so they've played that thing so well. But in terms of Omen, Champions League, so Kofi, baby, I remember who did it's a competition of history. This Champions League, a competition of history. It's not history I say about Champions League. All the time, hombre, to understand who is going to win.
Okay.
And me, honestly, say net the ABM, ni men kai the last time me predicted Champions League final. Ankosa. Some see we be share from 2012 till date. Now, Omen no. First, Yapobono Alliance Arena. Don't forget, this one has been popular. So all the 3 teams are abo. Omunji Champions League final yabo ho nyina no. Team NGB da na eje. And we cited the Chelsea example. They won their first Champions League title in the same stadium. Marseille. Interestingly, Marseille is a French club. They played against an Italian club by name AC Milan. So there is Milan. What does it? For the first time, they won it. The same stadium. Nottingham Forest. Their first Champions League, they won it at this same stadium. And the other 3 Champions League finals, Ayabo Ominiki, no. Team NGB da energy. Now, and then so Team NGB da and then the move Flede Sakopie final in Paris Saint-Germain. And the first Omen, no, Kofi, a taking in favor of which team? PSG. Second. Of course, these 2 teams has never faced in a competitive football. So there is no history to na PSG omo shiada in competitive football.
Wow.
Say ye ball competitive Champions League, Europa omo shiada. But see, say PSG Champions League now. They will only be the second French team to win the Champions League. The second French team to win the Champions League after Marseille. Now, Medicam why I say Marseille now on the J first one, no on GB that French team no, or just an Italian opposition in AC Milan. Again, there's a Milani here. And the new maybe say in a stadium where you are about Champions League, no, don't forget. And this stadium has favored France already.
Okay.
Yes, saying you know how. Kofi Inter about Champions League finals in Sia already. This is their 7th one. Oma win 3, Oma lose 3. 3 now Oma lose ni nyina sa team na share na je treble.
8 1.
Oma win 3 of the 6, Oma lose 3. 3 na defeat Inter ni nyina sa teams na kwaje treble. Celtic e defeat omo Kofi omo je treble 1967. For anoto nchen Marseille e defeat omo in 1993. Omo je treble. Man City e defeat omo in 2023. Omo je treble. Now PSG omo je 2 domestic titles na wie. So omo defeat omo a omo je treble. Another omen taken in favor of PSG. Ye nyina hwa. I remember pa 2020 na me onim de and then after PSG lose Champions League final no me ball Bayern for abaso for that incredible and outstanding Hansi Flick season Barcelona watching what guys that season no me like can be atchiri PSG for no rena me say mo man enyo mo ya they should keep their heads up because in the history of football in the history of the Champions League, every investor bia or this Ikasha Champions League or this Ikasha project bia mu in Europe J Champions League. Japan for this Kabeshe Hamburger is to players papa bia about the Champions League. Tape or this Benatapi or this Kabeshe mas to play papa the Champions League. Chelsea in Abramovich or this Kabeshe muno Kofi or the Champions League. Meze kura de Man City abeka man fa nso so Man City omo di sika be so omo yeden omo de cha nti mu di sika ehiem na munyanje munya botre momre be so me wie na me ka asem wi me say this Champions League in favor first timers over 90% of the time wa won ko Champions League final de be ulusu but say ukwa Champions League final na ulusu first one about 95% over the second Champions League final oje. So I gave them this example that I'm going to repeat today. This is not the first time I started by saying, sir, AC Milan lost their first Champions League final in 1958. In 1963, they won it. Abraham Okomo second Champions League final. Chelsea lost the first Champions League final in 2008 against Manchester United. In 2012, Omoko final against Bayern. They won it. Now, Man City lost their first Champions League final against Chelsea in 2021. On a Champions League final in 2023, they won it, second one. Again, Hamburger has become an example that they lost their first Champions League final in 1980. 1983, on a second Champions League final, they won it. Marseille, they lost their first Champions League final in 1991. On a second Champions League final, they won it. Juventus, they lost their first Champions League final in 1980. A second Champions League final in 1983. They won it. Okay. Now PSG has lost their first Champions League final in 2020. Now this is their second Champions League final. What does I say? And honestly, Omenini Bibia suits the narrative say PSG in a research.
Okay.
What does I say? And based on that, I'm of a strong conviction.
Okay.
As at Endra, now me analyze the game. Now me who know 1-1. Ebe ko extra time. Yes. And a extra time on Soa. Donnarumma has shown. Yes, 2 goalkeepers in there. Obia will have to come back today. And second penalties are in as much say. Kofi, who good goalkeeper no? As on your good takers.
Yes.
What does I say? But PSG for the penalties. Liverpool no. And Mami GDA be say even if he goes to penalties, one, I'm not building that confidence, no.
Okay.
Two, I'm going to keep an actually say one least mistake. Again, me hear interplayers now. Say do penalties, I mean who nkofo be believe so messing. In the first of all, penalty advantage there, I think PSG. So based on that, this is a game that I'll go PSG to win.
Okay.
But 2-1.
2-1.
PSG.
Mate, me da se no aye Hussein Adams na outene kana wo se okọ Edema PSG so be win 2-1 and ne score line you see or the amount